Hey, random internet person, and welcome to Set Us Up. My name is Ken, and in this series, I'm going to show you how to build your own network attached storage device, media center, and personal cloud storage. In the previous video, I showed you how to set up Samba on our NAS device so that we could access the 1 terabyte drive with a Windows file share. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install media center software on the NAS so that we can store movies, TV shows, photos, music, etc. And we can access that data with Windows, with a Roku, with an Android or iPhone, or any other device. The media center software I'm going to install is from a company called Plex, and I use it for my own personal media center, and it works fantastic. So with that in mind, let's get started. So let's begin. We're back in our Windows device, and I've already brought up the Plex website. You can get to it by going to www.plex.tv. And as you can see, we need to do 3 things. Actually, 2 things, but the third is optional. First, we got to sign up for an account. Then we would download the Plex software for our NAS device. And then the optional third is to buy a Plex Pass, which gives you access to beta software and other premium features. Now, I do have the Plex Pass and enjoy it very much, but it's definitely not required. Anyway, let's go ahead and sign up with a Plex account. I'm going to use an email address, and I'll use well, about a better password than that. Weak, huh? Okay, well, we're going to go with it anyways. So I'm going to create an account. Okay, so it's telling us about Plex Pass. Here's some options. You can do live TV and DVR if you have a tuner, which I do have a tuner, and I will go over that in a later video. You can do mobile sync. They have a Plex app for Android and for the iPhone and Windows devices, though I haven't seen the iPhone or the Windows devices, but I do use the Android, and it works great. You can see trailers. It can do automatic uploads from your camera on your phone to the Plex Media Server, and it can do automatic photo tagging and some others. You can do a monthly subscription for $5, a yearly subscription for $40, or a lifetime for $120. Well, we're going to skip that for now. And it's looking for servers. Of course, we don't have one yet, but we're about to have one. So we're going to download the Plex Media Server. You see this link here, download for NAS platforms. That's for other pre-made NAS devices. We're not doing that. We're rolling our own, so we will download our Linux-based version of Plex. And let's click on download. And we want the 64-bit CentOS for CentOS 7, which is what we're running. And we'll wait for this to download. Shouldn't take too long. And it's done. So let's get this file over to our NAS device. We will go to Downloads, and here it is. You notice it's an RPM file, which means we can install it using the RPM utilities or Yum on the NAS. So we're going to copy this file, and we need to go to our NAS device, our IP address 192.168.1.200. And there's our storage. You notice Windows has put storage over under quick access because we access it a lot, so we could have gone this way. Same path either way. And there's our 2 test files. So we're going to paste our Plex Media Server in, and it's copied over. So now we need to switch back to the NAS through our secure shell, and I have that already connected for us. This is PuTTY, and as we can see, there's the Plex Media Server file. And now I'm going to issue a Yum command. Now, this Yum command is a little different. It's called local install, and then we give it the name of the file. And I'm just going to highlight that, and then right-click to paste that in, and hit enter. Got to put in my password. As you can see, it sees the package. It's saying, is this okay? Because I didn't use the -y command. I wanted to show you guys this. I hit yes and let it do the install. And we're done. So I don't remember if it is started already, so I'm going to see if it has. It has not, so we're going to have to start the service. So we're going to do systemctl start Plex media server. Now if we check again, yes, it is started. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to enable it just in case it hadn't, but I think it did. If you look here where it said created symlink, I believe that was what it was doing to start up when you boot the NAS. Okay, that is the install. It's very easy. And we'll go back to our storage. We could delete the Plex media server file. I'm just going to leave it for now. So now let's head back to our website. And it sees an insecure media server. Well, let's reload our app insecurely and see if we can get to the server. So it's asking us to sign in using our Plex account. Drop that. Okay, simple little intro screen. You put the media files on your device. Plex will scan, automatically organize it, and then you can play it on any computer or smart TV, Roku device, which is what I use and highly recommend. Got it? All right, so that's showing us Plex pass. We skip that again. Server setup. So we found the server. We'll give it a name. I'm just going to leave it at NAS. And then, important, allow me to access my media outside my home. And if you want to do that, if you want to be able to access it from basically anywhere outside, leave that checked. This will require some setup on the firewall to allow ports in, and I will do that in a later video. For now, we'll hit next. Okay, it's asking us to organize a library. So, what are libraries? Basically, they're folders on your NAS device where you put different types of files. You can have music libraries, photo libraries, video libraries, movie libraries, TV show libraries. So we're going to create a couple of libraries just for demonstration. I want to switch back to PuTTY, and I want to create some folders on our NAS device. So we already have one for storage, and that's our Windows share. I'm not going to create the libraries inside of that, though we could. What I'm going to do is create a, well, don't forget sudo. I'm going to create a directory and call it Plex. And of course it's owned by root, so we are going to get rid of that. So change the owner to nobody. Oh, forgot sudo. I'd always do that. Now let's take a look. There we go. Now inside of Plex, I'm going to create some subfolders. Let's create one for, we'll call it music. And let's create one called movies. And let's also create one called TV. And I guess I shall do photos also, so we can show how that works. Okay, so we've got, of course, they're owned by root again. So let's change that. Now nobody owns these folders. Okay, so going back, and the reason I changed this to nobody is that I am going to make Windows shares out of these folders so that we can use Windows to copy files over. Excuse me. So now back on Plex, we're going to click on Add Library. Let's do movies first. We'll call it movies. Next. Now we need to add the folders, so we're going to browse, and we'll go to, now remember we are browsing on the NAS device, so we'll hit root, we'll go to our NAS folder, and we'll go to, Plex, I forgot about that, and movies, and we'll add that. And there's an advanced here. You can turn on and off whether it include trailers, included in the dashboard, what scanner to use, and I'll get into that later, but the scanner and the agents are the programs which go through and categorize your files. They will automatically go out to the internet, download metadata, that kind of thing. And there's some other options here. I'm just going to take all defaults. Yeah, we'll click add. All right, so there's movies. So let's go ahead and create libraries for the rest of these. Next is TV. Next, browse. Let's go to, again, we're going to go NAS, Plex, and we're going to choose TV, add. Again, you can look at some advanced options. I'm going to go ahead and click add. Now let's add music. Oh, and by the way, you can have multiple libraries of, say, movies. If you had, if some movies may be by a particular director, you could create a movie library that just has those movies in it. I've used this, for example, I wanted to put all of the movies that I have from Riff Tracks into one library, and then all my regular movies over into another library, just to make things simpler for me. By the way, if you don't know what Riff Tracks is, it is three of the guys who were in Mystery Science Theater 3000. They do their own riffing show. It is high quality entertainment, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so okay, we're doing music, so let's go next, and we're going to browse, and again, we'll do NAS, Plex, music, add. We have some options here. Now, if we had a Plex Pass, we could create a premium library, which gives extra information, including mixes. You can download artwork, all kinds of stuff like that. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to have our standard. And again, some more options here. We'll just take the defaults, add, and last one, we will do photos. One more time with the browsing, Plex, and photos. All right, not much here, add. We're done. Next. Now there are apps you can download. They're called Plex apps. They have various things. I don't really use them. Some of them are, for example, PBS and other networks where you can load the app in and immediately go to videos that are online. It's basically streaming apps. I haven't looked at them. You can check it out if you want. But anyway, we'll click done. And here we are. We have, this is our account. There's announcements. That's fine. Users, which I will talk about at a later date. And we have settings, which we will get into in a sec. Here are our libraries. You can create your own playlists, but here's movies, music, photos, TV shows, and then here's some online content. You can get news, you can podcast. I'm not even sure what web shows is. I haven't checked it out. And status will show you anything that's playing, including other people that you have shared this Plex with. You can see what they're watching. You can kick them off, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's go into settings real quick. You have settings for the server, and you have settings for the local client. This is going to be server settings. Here's our sign out. We are up to date. We can look at advanced settings. I will go ahead and turn that on. We've got some logging turned on. We'll leave that. and we'll go to remote access. Now it says we're not available outside the network, and the reason is that we don't have a port forward. We need to port forward this port right here on our firewall so that the outside can get to our Plex. I'm not going to do that at this time. That'll be a future video, but just want to make you aware that that has to be done. We can still use Plex, of course, on our internal network, which is what we're going to do. Agents, this is where you can set up what software is used to scan your media. There's agents for movies, for photos, for TV shows, and you can come in and look at options. That's probably not the best one to look at. Let's do movies, Plex movie. Here's some options. Find trailers, prefer artwork. You can include adult content if you want to do that. Rating source from Rotten Tomatoes, or you can choose IMDb, whatever you want. I'm not going to mess with this, but you're more than welcome to go in and configure it the way you want. Libraries. Okay, this is where we can set up when the library is scanned. You can leave it alone and manually scan the library whenever you add media, or you can set it up to scan periodically, or whenever it detects a change in the folder, it can run a partial scan and scan automatically when it detects any change. So we're going to do all of that. And for music libraries, it says that it could cause a problem if you have a huge music collection. I'm not sure what huge is, but I'm going to include it now for these demonstrations. You can generate video preview thumbnails, which takes disk space and CPU. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. I want to leave that off for now. Let's go to save. Plugins, we don't have any. Network, you can set up a SSL certificates if you want to connect with your own SSL, and actually I will do that at a later date. We will set up an SSL certificate for this server. There's some other settings, but most of this you can leave alone. The transcoder, this is when the software detects that it needs to convert the file to a format on whatever device you're watching. You can tell it what presets to use, from very fast to very slow, and that just depends on the quality. We'll leave it very fast for this. How many videos to transcode? We'll leave it unlimited. It's only going to be us connected. Languages, you can tell it what subtitles you can manually select, or we can say go with turn it on always. What subtitle language you want. DLNA is where if you have devices that know how to talk to DLNA, they can access the media on the Plex server without even having to run Plex web or Plex apps. It's on by default. We can leave it on. It's fine. Some smart TVs know how to talk DLNA. Your PC definitely does. And let's see, schedule tasks, when to run, what to do. Like, for example, update all libraries, refresh metadata, that type thing. Where to make a backup. You know, we may want to change that to our NAS device, but for now, I'm going to leave it where it is. And let's see, some extras, trailers, whatnot. Not worried about it. Here are our libraries. We can tell it to scan here. Optimized versions, you can actually go through and go ahead and pre-create transcoded versions of your videos in certain resolutions if you need to. I've never had to use this, so I'm going to skip it. Live TV, we don't have that, and you have to have the Plex Pass in order to do that. And troubleshooting console, we're not going to worry about that. So let's go back to home. Again, it's time to add some media. So what we're going to do first, though, is we need to create some window shares, or a window share, to access our Plex folder on the NAS. So we're going to have to, again, edit the Samba conf file, and we do that with sudo nano, and that's in etc Samba. And let's see if I remember correctly. Nope. All right, so I forgot. So let me see what the contents of etc Samba is. Ah, okay, that's what I thought it was. Well, okay, here we go. I'm gonna stretch this out a little bit. So if you remember, we have here's our storage share. So let's create another share. We're gonna call it Plex. The path is going to be NAS/Plex. And basically we'll set up the same settings as storage. Make sure we spell everything correctly. Okay, save, Control-0, Control-X to get out. We're going to run test parm, make sure that that is okay. And as you see, it processed both sections, says it's okay. Good. Now we need to, I'm not sure if the services pick up those changes automatically, but I want to go ahead and restart SMB and NMB. Okay, so let's bring up our browser, and we'll go to 192.168.1.200, and there's our Plex, and we should see our folders. Good. So now let's put some media there. So I happen to have some media on this Windows machine that we'll copy over into our Plex folders. So let's go to first videos. I have the movie Airplane, and I have some Rick and Morty. So let's grab Airplane first. So I'm going to copy this folder, and we'll go back to Plex. At 200, there's Plex, and we'll put this right in Movies. Okay, and let's go back. I'm going to open up another window. Okay, here's some Rick and Morty. Now that's a TV show, so we're going to put that under TV. Okay, now let's also, we've got some photos here, just some random images. So let's copy these to our photos folder. Just going to grab these. Oops, I made copies there. Let's undo that. Let's try to be a little more careful here. Okay, copy. And we'll go back to Plex. We're going to go to photos and we'll just stick them right here. And last, I think we have some music. Yes, we have some Mastodon for, you know, just a light music to, you know, drink coffee to in the morning. I'll copy the Mastodon over. Okay, that's it. You may have noticed in the background here, this activity thing periodically would spin up, and that is Plex automatically scanning as new files appeared. And as you can see here, it already put up these recently added photos. Let's have a look at some of the others. We have no movies. And let's see, is there any music? No. We do have the photos. And no TV shows. So why did it not scan? So let's go to settings. We'll go to library, scan automatically. Click show advanced, run a partial scan. Well, I'm kind of at a loss as to why it did not pick those up. Let's try to do a manual scan, and to do this I select the library, click the three dots for more actions and initiate a scan, and it's picking them up. And while it scans, it will use its agents to go out on the internet and download information about the movie or TV show if it can find a match. And that's what it's doing right now. It's analyzing. While that's working, I want to switch to music. I want to force a scan here. Okay, so it is analyzing that, and we'll go to TV shows. It says libraries are currently being up. Oh, okay, didn't find anything, but if I hit scan, it finds it. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I haven't experienced that problem with my own Plex, but let's go back up to movies. As you can see, it's downloaded the artwork or the poster for Airplane. The year is there now, so if we click inside, we have all this information. Directed by, studio, what the video is, a 1080p, a synopsis, cast, and you can click on the cast names and it will show you any other movies that you have in Plex that this actor or actress is in. Let's see for music. Well, we found Mastodon, and if we click in, it shows us popular tracks, synopsis of the band, and the music you have. I have some a few of the albums. It even shows you when they're on tour. And for TV shows, still scanning, we'll come back to that. Let's go and let's see if we can watch something. So we'll just hit, oh, and also here's your Rotten Tomatoes score. If we hit play, there we go, watching a movie. And of course you can skip around in the movie anywhere you want. And pause controls, you can put it on loop, your standard media controls. Close out that. For music, let's pick a good song here. We'll just pick, actually let's go into an album. How about that? Let's go here and we'll play one of my favorite songs. Control the volume over here. Anyway, And of course, you can queue up music. You can put it on repeat, listen to every song by the artist, or just listen to a particular album. Shuffle play, all your standard controls. For TV shows, here's Rick and Morty. And notice how it's able to recognize the seasons. And you can go into the seasons, and it shows you every single show. You can go to pick an episode like this one, and it gives you synopsis. Pretty neat, huh? So that is the overview of Plex. I think I'll try to show you the Plex on the Roku that's in my living room, and it looks pretty much exactly what you're seeing here, except it's going to be on the TV. So here is my Roku on my TV. As you can see, I have the Plex app loaded, and I want to fire it up now. It'll just take a few seconds to load. And there it is. And you can see the TV shows, you can see the music, there's the movie. You scroll on down, it'll show the photos, and it has other links to news and items of interest. So we'll go and see if we can play the movie. There you go. There's the movie on the big screen. The Plex app for Roku works great. I can watch 4K movies, no problem. So that's all I have for today. In the next video, I'm going to install personal cloud software called OwnCloud, which operates like Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, and we can share files between our PC, our phones, and the server. Please post any questions or comments below, and check out our Twitter account @SetUsUpChannel. If you like what you see, click like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks for taking the time for watching. I'll see you later.